Good evening, all. Welcome to the Rangers Rabble podcast. It's Jamie here, and we are going to go have a little look at the match reaction there. Game's just finished 15 minutes ago, so it's early doors, and I am joined by Brian. You all right, Brian?
Very well, thank you.
And Ross Clark is on, the handsome one. Roscoe's saying he's not feeling well again. Every time he's on a podcast with me, he's not well. You all right, mate?
Aye, mate. I've got a sore head, mate. I think it's, what it is? See, when they put the
Cuddles.
perm lotion on, I think it's the perm lotion works its way into the skin, mate. It's not as it, I think.
And I'm joined by my stalwart, that is Scotty Kerr, mate. What's happening? You all right?
I'm no bad eyes, mate, about the game tonight, but I had a few things I've come up because I'm away early in the morning, so I didn't go.
Oh, yes, down in your travels tomorrow, so yeah, forgot about that.
Nah.
Anyway, good evening and welcome everybody in the comments. I can see that already. People are chatting away. Rangers 2, the racists, Sparta Prague 0. Brian, we'll just chat about the game. Some cracking performances individually. I think collectively overall we played really well as well. A couple of nervy moments, but this is European football.
Yeah.
And winning games in Europe and progressing for the group stage isn't for everybody. But it is for this team. How did you think we went on tonight, Brian?
I was, obviously after the weekend, you're looking at this game and you're thinking there's a few players out there, you're wondering how they're going to react. If something happens early doors, it doesn't go their way, you're thinking, how's the crowd going to react? But fair play to the team that came out. They were hungry. You could see them snapping at the Sparta players, and it didn't stop for the whole 90. As you say, there's a couple of nervy moments, but qualification again. That's 4 years in a row now. So, no, well done.
It's unbelievable. We started the group with 0 points, didn't we, Kia?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we lost
we've qualified with a game in hand.
I mean, Europe seems to be kind to us the last few years, so that's good. I enjoyed that tonight after Sunday, like we said. I wasn't knowing what to expect, but the shape changed slightly, didn't he? He went 2 in the middle, 2 sitting and 3 and then 1, so they looked well up for it. The players had a lot of energy in the team. I thought when we played quite with a tempo, we looked really good. I know we sat off at times, and that's human nature, just sitting deeper when you're 2-0 up, trying to protect the lead. But overall, I was impressed with them. I thought they'd done quite well, and you can see if that's what's going to come for Gio's tactics, then I'm looking forward to it.
I'm just turning my light down here because it's not doing me any favours, Ross, is it?
Yeah, I think that's how I'm getting a sore head, man. The light bouncing off your bald bonds, man. It just pure blows for mine.
Thanks for everybody for joining before I come to him. Anyway, Roscoe, my man, 4-2-3-1. I thought it was just quite refreshing to see a Rangers team set up, not 4-3-3 for me when I seen the team come out.
Many times I've sat on this very podcast, JD, and said, why are we playing with 3 sitting midfielders against Livingston? They're crap, huh? They're not a good side. So why would you have had 3 sitting players when you need to go and beat them 2-0? That's the way we should play. See, as long as you've got your basic shape where you're playing your one up top, see whether your 2 are playing as wingers or inside 10s, and the night I thought, somebody said in the comments, Tav was barely in their half. So he's obviously been told, what, you're here to defend and defend first and let the other 3 ahead of you go and make the play happen, which was decent.
Yeah. Brian, the team started, I think we've all been talking about, because he plays a 10 almost, doesn't he? Mm-hmm. That Hadji will be the man. That was probably my only surprise when I seen the team, that Hadji wasn't the number 10. He opted for Aribo.
Yeah, I must admit, I was expecting Hadji as well to be the 10. But yeah, it was just nice, as Ross said there. It was a different formation. It was a different lineup. It was just, it was just so refreshing to see like 4 attacking people up the top with the 3 attacking midfielders and then the lone striker. It was just, and as Ross was saying, we've been asking for that for goodness knows how long. We've been playing 3 central defenders for goodness knows how long. And if Sunday went its way, it would have been 4. But I mean, it's just nice to see the team back to what we should be doing and attacking and snapping and going at teams, because as Ross says, they weren't very good. There was a couple of players came on at the end that had a bit about them, but apart from that, there was no. It was 2 going on 4 or 5, could have been 6, because Aribo should have had a hat-trick.
Well, I was just about to say that. Ross, Aribo should have had a hat trick, shouldn't he? Overall, I mean, he's a class player. For me, he's probably just my player of the year this season. But we should have been out of sight, shouldn't we? Aribo could have had 3. Or should have had 3.
I think he's been training at Okinawa for the week, kicking medicine balls, mate. Everything was going so high, wasn't it? Like, even the one the goalie comes out, I would have thought he'd have took it round him and just tapped it in, whereas he's tried to flick it over him. But I was surprised Aribo playing centrally, because I think he's best coming off the right and cutting in.
Yeah.
Cutting in, and we've seen him a couple of times this season, curling in shots when he cuts in. Could I get my cuts and my curls out of there? Because you 3 have all had cuts and I've got curls. I was a bit confused.
I wish I'd have cut.
You need a shave.
Ross, this is something we've spoken about as well. It was good to see us from the outset, and I think within the first the 10 seconds, I think Tav put a ball down. Tav put one down the wing to Hadji.
Come on.
We should have been one. We're almost in the run, really. Morelos his ball in. Just if it's a yard the other side, Kent's in there, isn't he? It's a good start.
Yep, decent.
Thanks, that great insight.
Sorry, mate. I never realised you wanted an insight. It's been on that long. It's been on that long, mate. I came zoned out a wee bit. You're no Martin at hosting, I'll give you that.
Kent, after 6 minutes when we get that chance, I thought, because Kent he played well tonight, but he kind of, the things that he done well, he done really well, but he kind of drifted in and out and done a couple of tricks that perhaps they'll think is for the circus. But after he's a couple of times, certainly in the 6th minute when Aribo hits the bar, I thought we were in for a treat tonight.
To be honest with you, I think the Morelos played well tonight, but I think the 3 behind them played well because the interchange, they weren't sticking in the normal positions. Kent was coming inside, he was going wide, Aribo was doing the same, Hadji was doing the same. And when the 4 of them click together, they're really good and they're really dangerous, and it doesn't matter who we're playing, we'll get goals from them. And I thought we played really well because the players seemed up for it. They seemed to like that formation actually, because you only need 2 sitting players there. I thought Kamara and Davis looked better in a 2 than they did with a 3 because the third person's not getting in the way. Yeah. But they've got more freedom, the forwards, to go to, and they're making mistakes with Kent does at times, a wee flicks. That doesn't bother me because it eventually will come off. I just thought we were a fantastic shape. Now one that's always slagging Big Bassy. I don't like him at fullback, I have to say, but I have to give him credit tonight. I thought he was tremendous tonight. I have to hold my hands up. The big boy was superb.
Yeah, before I wrote that down, Kerr, but we may as well speak about it before we talk about the goals. I wanted to give probably Goldson and Bassey a bit of a shout, but we'll just touch on Connor Goldson. I think he came in for a bit of stick, Ross, probably quite rightly so, but whether you thought the full interview was interpreted the right way or not, but I thought he played pretty well tonight. Maybe the wee bit at the end, but I thought all over it's probably one of his better performances.
I mean, as I said before the game, I think there was a few players tonight who are lucky that they got another chance, and he's one of them through injury. Now, in hindsight, it's easy to say, oh, I told you Morelos should have played, or I told you Tav should have played, or I told you McGregor should have played. In hindsight, it's worked out for them, but they're very lucky boys that Van Bronckhorst came in and gave them the chance. Goldson, I'm sitting here tonight asking myself the question, where was that intensity? Where was that hunger? Where was that performance? Morelos back bullying folk. Now, he was playing up top on Sunday and never gave an arse, never even tried. You've got, do you know what I mean? So there came a time when it's all right to look back tonight after a good result and say that was a bit of genius playing them, but the heart they showed tonight is why I wouldn't have played them, because you know it's there, but they've not looked as if they've been bothering their arse for weeks.
Brian, what do you think of Bassey? Because Kerr's called him out. Listen, me and Kerr have spoken about this a few times where Kerr says, you know what, I don't totally fancy him, but he has played all right every now and again. But I thought tonight, especially in the first half, he was solid. And other things like, he doesn't win. I mean, I think tonight was the first game I've ever seen him win headers and position his header forward. But I thought he was solid tonight, Brian.
Yeah, he was. As as you've been saying there, Scott, you're saying he's not the most comfortable to watch. Every time the ball goes near him, you're petrified. You're thinking, what's he going to do? But no, he stuck at it tonight, and there's a couple of times he actually bailed Goldson out. Excuse me. Yeah, no, he was really good tonight, and it could, as I say, it could have easily went wrong with having Goldson and Bassey in the centre half tonight. But no, Bassey was really good tonight. Really impressed me.
It's promising. I know he's raw, man, but he's only
21.
21.
Yeah.
Come on, man. Like, I know I'm bad for making comparisons, right? See it, 21-year-old, right? Cares loud. See it, 21-year-old. Craig Moore was getting absolutely lambasted. He wouldn't have had him anywhere near a squad, never mind a starting 11. So you're hoping these boys will progress under some really good guidance.
But again, Bassey's not been in the team a lot. He's in, he's out, he's in, he's out. So it's difficult for these guys to get a bit of form and a bit of feeling comfortable on the pitch when they're not playing all the time.
I thought you were starting a song there, Brian.
He's in.
We go 1-0 up, and he's always involved, and John's on that chat. Like, we're all at at the end of the first half, it looked a bit dodgy down that right-hand side. For that, that's all he can do on Tav's side. He's having a nightmare. And then John's like, but what about his involvement for the goal? And he was involved. He's always involved some way down that right-hand side. And he put a cracking ball in. Hadji, I thought, was not getting there, Kerr, but good wee ball across. I know the defending was pretty poor, but I want to concentrate on the positives, but it's a
good ball for Tav. Obviously, we know Hadji's not the quickest, but his determination got him there, and he fought to get it, and as soon as he hit it to Morelos, it was a great finish. He just hit it in the run, which he should be doing. When he's not got enough confidence, Alfie takes a touch or two and then the chances away, but he just hit it in the run, and you can see how delighted he was with the finish, and you can see the smile on his face, and I think he was a bit happy, and he's pointing to the fans with his chest, but saying a bit, yeah, shh. And he did deserve a bit of criticism in the past few games, because he's not been great, but tonight shows you what he can do, like Ross says. I know it's hard seeing these guys who should have been dropped for the night, but sometimes you get comfortable under a previous manager. It's not like your hunger disappears, it's just you're that comfortable, your performances that, because you're not getting any challenges coming your way. I don't mean trophies and stuff, I just mean competing with folk, because Gerard always is his favourites and are going to get picked. When your manager comes in, they can't be like that anymore, because they know if they don't play well, their position could win their threat. So I think we saw that tonight.
Brian, just to touch on what we're talking about, how had you got an assist for the first? What was your take on his overall performance? I know he got took off, but for me, I thought he looked creative, his creativity as usual, but I thought he just missed a couple of things tonight for me.
Aye, he wasn't as sharp in his normal self, but I mean he came on late on Sundays. You know, he was subbed on Sunday again. He's been in and out of the team as well. It's difficult, as I said before, to get a run of form and a bit of confidence up. But Hadji's always there, like Morelos. He'll keep trying. He keeps in Kent. You know, they'll all come back for more. Even though they make a mistake, they'll come back and try again. You know, and the through. I mean, as you were saying, I didn't think he was going to get to that ball, but fair play to him. He poked it across in Morelos. And again, I'm just so glad we've got a bit of the angry Morelos back. You know, we've got the Hulk sort of. We haven't got David Banner anymore. We've got the Hulk, and he was a lot more, a bit more bullying centre halves, and it was just nice to see.
It's more, Ross. It's more what we wanted to see, because when he's playing on that shoulder and spinning, he was spinning and turning folk like the Morelos 2 years ago. When in Europe, people just couldn't. They try and get too tight to Morelos. You're playing into his hands. I thought I seen a wee bit more of that tonight.
Yep, Morelos plays like that, and his hold-up play. People have been saying he's been. I said it at the start. He goes back to the halfway line and he's dropping balls back into a centre half. I want Morelos on the shoulder of their centre half and bringing the ball in. I don't want him knocking it back. I want him taking it round the corner and using his body, that's when you've got. And that's what I've been trying to say for the last few weeks. He's not been doing that.
He's a number 9.
In my head, I've been thinking to myself, he's getting. People are saying now his role's changed, but your centre forward should never be playing wee balls back to the centre halves. Especially knowing that's obviously Van Bronckhorst said to him today, look, this is what I need you to do. But as I say, I think he's a lucky boy that he got the chance. But I'm glad that he did, because he scored 2 goals and shut you up. So what else can you say?
You can't really say anything else on his 2 goals, Kerr. Another person to talk about, who I've probably gave the most stick to this season, and I thought his performance levels have been off the cliff, in a bad way, is McGregor. But cracking save in the first half, double save at the end there.
That's Al McGregor we know. He might not be involved a lot of the game, and then he pulls off saves that keep shooting at him. Do you know what I mean? That's what we want for Al McGregor. But we know he's going to be the goalkeeper he was a few years ago because he is getting older. He's coming up for 40. We know this could be his last season. But when he pulls off saves like that, it gives a players a lift as well, because they know they get somebody behind them they can trust. It gives the fans a lift as well. You heard the road in the stadium and stuff, and the first save was a good one, but the header, because the boy should have probably scored it, but the reaction with his foot, I know Ross probably knows more than me because he played in goals, but just sticking his foot out, some goalies when they do that, but he's get the reaction just to stick his foot out to think, I'm going to try and get this as well. It's a great save, and he's up off his he's up off the ground quite quick as well.
Ross, you want to give us a critique of some of the saves there, from one goalkeeper to another?
See, the double saves, outstanding, right? But see the big overlooked cross, see if he just comes and takes the cross in the first place. He doesn't have to make the double save. That's what I've been grown about, mate. He's that. He's not, but I'll tell you what, he's not been. Wait, I've never at any point said McGregor's shite. All I've said is McGregor's not been making saves. The night he made saves, so that you need your goal to make saves. And up until this point of this season, we've not been making saves. So see if that's him going to start producing, then you're not going to complain and you're going to hope he plays for another 2 or 3 years. But again, it's in hindsight, because up until the night, would yous have all started McGregor the night? I wouldn't have.
No. That's why we're Brian, just I know you want to come in here, Brian, but I felt that I understand what Ross is saying. McGregor should just come out and get that, but if he's not going to come out and get it, don't jockey it as if you think he should. Only do that if he shouts for the ball.
But that's been a common theme with McGregor recently. He just doesn't come for crosses at all, and I think Ross has been one that's flagged that up quite a lot. He's one of the best shot stoppers we've ever had, but cross balls, it's not pretty. As you say, you either stay and defend your goal, or you come and you clear everything out. But McGregor's never been a great catcher of the ball when it's a cross ball, as Ross says.
He's been like all his career, but McGregor, he's been good in cross balls. It's not just now. It's been like you when he was younger. It's not his speciality. He comes half-hearted, or he doesn't think he's going to get it. So he'd rather wait for the defenders to get it, and then he has to pull a save it. He pulls a save it.
So I thank everybody who's on watching and making the comments. There's a lot of comments happening tonight, and I can barely keep up with them. Not as many viewers as we had the other night. Obviously, some people like to tune in when we don't do well. So, but just keep doing it, folks. Ross, I hope you're not going to disagree with me when I say I thought head and shoulders man of the match tonight was Glenn Kamara. And you are going to disagree with me just because you're that type of guy, because you're trying to annoy me. But Brian, does anybody in the comments disagree with me that Kamara was not man of the match? Because the guy was head and shoulders above him.
Am I not getting the chance to speak?
You can, but you're very hesitant.
On you go, Ross. You were
I thought Bassey was man of the match.
Interesting. I thought he played well. I don't think they offered enough for me to make him man of the match.
Brian, because he was positionally very good.
He was defending. I thought he was actually really good, Bassey. I'd have given him man of the match, especially for somebody who the last few weeks ago.
JD. That's for you, mate. That's for you for the comments.
Maybe Alexander saying Bassey. Brian, these boys don't know how to play football then. Because I'm talking about football players. I'm telling you, Glenn Kamara was the man of the match tonight.
Glenn played really well, and he's probably, I don't know who got man of the match. Who got man of the match?
Kamara.
JD, you don't think
that? I don't know who got man of the match. Okay, the Rangers rabble spoken. It seems to be Bassey. Brian, who were you thinking?
It was quite a toss-up between the two, to be fair. I mean, Morelos getting his 2 goals, Bassey defending like he did, and Kamara in the midfield cleaning up. So, I mean, there's an argument for all three. But if I had to pick one, I would have went Kamara.
Yeah, thanks, Brian. And I'll know you're a good guy, so of course you know about it. John's saying that the wee man got it. Not for me. I understand he scored 2 goals, but no for me. But I thought
All about opinions.
it is all, and this is what the Rangers rabbles about, and this is why Führer, I like to call him that, the handsome one.
The hand that combed the hair.
Seen a picture of him at Hampden on Sunday. Oh my God, see with a comb through his hair. He looks a totally different guy.
Can I say, boys, can I come in and say, well, we're on the topic of hair now, I know this is a sore point for you, but I'm convinced he promised the followers and subs that he would shave his head at 3,000. We're now nearly at 4,000 and he's still not done it. I don't want to upset people, but if worst comes to the worst at the Christmas night out, we're pinning him down with a set of clippers.
I agree. I did say that. I agree with you, Ross. He did.
I would also agree with you, but I seen him with a comb through his hair, and I thought, nah, if I had hair like that, I wouldn't be shaving it off. No way.
It wasn't a comb; it was a pitchfork he put through it.
Shaved his, combed his head with a toffee apple. I've totally lost my train of thought now.
But do you not think it's nice that we're speaking about 3 players that could have been man of the match? That's a big difference. We're speaking about 3. I mean, before we were scratching around, who do you think it was? Oh, well, you're picking. It's like you're picking the best of a bad bunch. But it's nice to get 3 guys that are in contention for man of the match.
Okay, let's talk about the subs because here he
goes.
Combed his hair with a toffee apple. Look at the neck.
It's like a. That's like a.
It's not a room full of balloons.
You've been dragged through a hedge backwards or something.
Static,
Jesus.
So guys, here he is.
He's on mute.
Not mute, Tom Cruise.
He's this is Martin after he stuck his fingers in a 740-volt socket.
No,
Martin.
I'm only on because it's killing my OCD, and I've messaged all these, and I've even put private chats in. Brian, when you're not talking, go on mute. Because that coughing's doing my nothing.
Brian, see even when you're talking, Brian, I would go on mute because you're fucking murder.
At least Christ.
Right, I'm going to jump out now. I just had to jump on and say that. And by the way, my hair looks beautiful. Hello to everybody watching as well. Thank you.
You've bumped the subscribers right enough, but you go away before the boys call you out, man.
So, right, anyway, let's move on from Martin's rudely interrupted us there. Substitutions tonight. CGM saying they were interesting. The one thing I was surprised about, I think maybe it's just because maybe you're just wrong in thinking that I thought Bacuna would perhaps maybe have started or got some time. Doesn't go off the bench. Can we read into that, Care?
No, he's only 2 days with the players, and he's obviously some of them be through the grapevine talking to people, and he's obviously 2 days training. He's picked the 3 players. Obviously, it's going to do the job tonight. The interesting one for me was Patterson coming on. I thought he come on just to show up because I thought Tav is getting left a lot 2-on-1 at times. So Patterson's going to help him out, and both of them can interchange. One can sit, one can go. So I thought it was interesting. Hopefully he can maybe do that again because I like to see Patterson get more minutes. And I think him and Tav playing more consistently can strike up a good partnership.
Yeah, Ross, I want to touch on Patterson coming on. I think we've all been screaming for that, to try it. It's one thing, Gerrard was here for 3 years, I don't think he tried the 2 of them in the one game. I mean, I think someone mentioned it there. I don't think Patterson, I don't know if I was expecting, or Gallant Pioneer was expecting Patterson to come on and be like Gareth Bale, but I expected something, but then what Kerr's saying there, just gives a wee bit more solidity.
I think it did. I think what you get for Patterson and Tav is the 2 of them are best coming for deep, because with their pace they can take away and cut out the winger who's batting them, so they're harder to pick up. The night he's obviously come on, and the same with Bacuna getting on. You had the 2-0 we wanted, so it was about controlling the game, wasn't it, rather than going and maybe looking for more and getting caught out at the back. That'll be interesting. To see how it's going to go. Big
Gorgeous has put that in.
He was right.
He must have commented about 3 or 4 times. We may as well give him his wee moment there. Yep.
Yeah, he was right.
Say this.
Did anybody notice the other day the big man's actually got a sunbed bedroom? Did you see the colour of the light that was on him to make the teeth look like that? He actually sleeps in a sunbed. Big handsome, isn't he, man?
Oh,
that used to be the best looking on the rabble. Now he appeared on like that.
Brian, we'll bring it back to sanity here. We've qualified again with a game spare. And aye, we're happy with that, aren't we?
Oh, definitely. I mean, as you said at the start, we lost our first 2 games. It wasn't looking very good to even get in the Conference League, let alone qualify for the last 32. So, but no, it's great. It's brilliant just to get in. It really is.
Some of the comments are brilliant tonight. Well, they're
But
going
no,
so quick that I can't even keep up with them.
but I mean, it's just great again. We've come so far, and it's just great to be back in with the big boys and back in with the the Europa League. Hopefully next year it's a different competition, but yeah, it's just qualifying's the main thing.
Kerr, you've obviously you watch a lot of football. Do you think we're going to see do you think the 4-2-3-1 something we'll see more of, or do you think Gio looks more flexible in what he's going to do?
I'm not sure. I know he likes to play a 4-2-3-1, doesn't he? It just depends. You'll get the players in training over the next few weeks, but I think once the winter break comes, he's going to have a good look at everybody, isn't he? To see who he maybe wants to keep, who he wants to move on and stuff like that. So it's hard coming in mid-season because at the start of the season you've got 5-6 weeks to look at all your players and stuff. He's not got that time, so he's going to have to come in and just do the best as he can at the moment. So coming winter break, hopefully we're still sitting top of the table and he can go away for a couple of weeks, get the players refreshed and look at them, and then see who he can maybe bring in and who he can let go.
Ross, first time in 7 games we haven't went down 1-0 in a game. I think that's an improvement without a doubt. I know I'm stating the obvious here, but
I'm going to say that, mate. It'd be tough to be an improvement. That's almost as good a statement as when you said earlier on we started the group on 0 points. Every team starts the group on 0 points, mate. That's what happens.
I mean. Yeah, it's good to know. In a clean sheet again. A clean sheet again.
What do you mean again?
When was the last one, Melby?
It's again an improvement, isn't it?
Of course it is, mate. Aye. As I say, good defensive performance, but where was it on Sunday? Why does it take a new manager to come in for players to kick on?
Well, listen, we need to let that go now. We need to stay positive. It's done now.
Yeah, we'll stay positive. What I'm saying is, but the players, we've always said the players have had it in them, so it's good that it seems now that maybe some players are going to kick on.
Brian, so next stop is Sunday. A tough place to go for us, isn't it? Livy on the plastic pitch.
It is, but we've actually not been too bad there recently. We've dug out a few good results. I mean, it's a horrible pitch, and I really hate, as everybody knows, everybody hates these plastic pitches, but I mean, I don't expect Jack to feature because obviously he had that bad injury, and I would hope that he doesn't play because that's the last place you need somebody coming back from a long-term injury. So, but I mean, no, we've done reasonably well there in the last few fixtures, I think. So after today, I'm pretty positive.
Yeah, folks, thanks for tuning in. The usual thing, we're live on Twitter, and we're live in YouTube, and of course we've got our Patreon. I'd put it out. I listen to our best of the rest. I don't know if anyone's not on Patreon, it's only £2 a month, and you get a few more shows. There's a Soonest Revolution show if you're a Rangers fans, outstanding, Brian, isn't it?
Yeah.
And Kerr, there's an EPL show where we used to have a chat about the English games, but it's not going to come anywhere near the SPL review show we do. And we record an SPL review show, and Martin wants the show to be very down the middle. It's not about Rangers, but when you've got us in there, the blue tinted specs are on. So if anybody isn't on Patreon, even if you jump on for a month and pay the £2 and have a listen to this week's, I thought it was the first 10 minutes are the funniest 10 minutes we've ever done. And if anybody, it's probably worth the £2 to go and listen to that. Because I thought it was a cracking episode this week. It was only 3 games we covered, but for 10 minutes, a wee bit funny, wasn't it, Kerr?
I was listening to it in the car earlier on, coming back for Prehead to the wife, and she was listening to it and she was laughing as well.
No.
She doesn't listen to it and she was laughing. She was asking who they were. And she especially was laughing at Jamie Curry. So
that's good. That's fine. Roscoe, Sunday, what's your thoughts?
if you've ever played on a plastic park, you know how much it takes you to run about on them. And you also, there seems to be a bit slicker than most, with it being a Snyder. Let's be honest, it's an absolute Snyder. Go keep the ball off them, tire them out, and then a couple of late goals. I reckon we'll actually win convincingly after the night. Morelos is a must. He's got to play up front, because that's the game where you're just playing against big bullies in it. You've got to go and just be up for the fight for the first minute to the end.
Brian, just on that, as Morelos he's got to start, hasn't he now? He is a bit of a form player. He's always done that in his time with us. Goes on a little runs and scores goals, and then he might take a wee dip in form. He's going to start, isn't he?
Yeah, absolutely. We've got the angry Morelos back. We've got the big Buffalo. He's bullying people again. He's staying in the channels next to the two centre halves. And as Ross says, that's what you want him to do. You want him to roll the centre halves and Christ Almighty, what a noise! But that's what you want Buffalo to do, and that he's so good at it. And when he gets a bit of form and a bit of confidence, he's away.
I know somebody's saying in there, we thought maybe Morelos had the Shushy fans. I thought it was just a whole kind of calm down. Calm down. I thought just everybody calm. We're still here. We're still top of the league. Kerr, does that feel good tonight? That's like, it felt like I get pelters on that the other night. Mark Martin saying that I didn't go to the semi because the only orange strip that I had was a Dundee United man. But as you can see, I'm wearing my orange strip tonight. But it feels more like this is the start of the Gio thing tonight. It's the start of the new revolution.
Yeah, it's good to go off to a start, especially his first game under his belt. And Sunday will be a difficult game, as you know, with Livingston. Obviously, they're not the best quality football side, but they're tough to break down. They're tough to beat. Wee Davy boy sets his teams up well, so I still think we'll win. But I think we'll win, not comfy, but I still think we'll win. And I think we're supposedly confident getting a victory tonight, and especially getting a clean sheet as well. And hopefully we can carry the next few games, because we've got a couple of games coming up we have to win.
Yeah, so it's a big next month, next 6 weeks, Ross. Massive time for us, and this is really going to set the league, the season up.
Yep, you're either going to kick on, and pull further away, or stall. One of the two. Hopefully, I'd like to think that we'll kick on, go and beat teams at Livy and Hibs, beat Celtic, because they're there to be got at. I watched their game the night. Celtic are there to be got at all day long. So I've said since the start of the season on this pod, the only team that will stop us winning the leagues is. I firmly believe that. I firmly believe we've got the best squad. I firmly believe we've got the best management team, and I firmly believe that in the winter window, if Van Bronckhorst thinks he requires somebody, they'll go and get the deal done.
I'm glad you said that, Ross. I was going to end it there, but I thought before we go, it's a good point you made. We make another appointment today. Is it Voss, the academy, 18s from Ajax, Brian? It's I think if you're bringing anyone in and you read his credentials, it's pretty exciting.
Yeah, I mean, the Ajax Twitter were going pretty fuel because they lost him. They obviously thought very highly of him. You don't coach at Ajax for the under-18s for 10 years if you're not very good. And the amount of players that they put through the under-18s and into the first team, it's ridiculous. I mean, it's a relentless, conveyor belt of players just coming through Ajax academy into the first team. So for us to get a guy like that, it's great news. Absolutely great news.
Does that bode well, Kerr? Even if it's I know short term it needs to bode well, but even medium to long term, does this bode well if it all kind of plans out? The way Ross Wilson's building it, a kind of ethos from the right down to your early ages, right up to the first team, we play the same type of football.
It does, because all we all want is a pathway for the Rangers boys and academy to get a chance in the first team, because watching the academy teams, I know how good some of the boys are. And sometimes all I need is a chance, do you know that way? So if this can help that way, I'm all for it, because it can save us money by bringing players in. It can also make us money by buying selling players on if we get boys through the academy. So it's the way we have to go, because we're not flush anymore. We need to act as a business.
Yeah. Well, folks, I think we'll end it there. Rangers 2, Sparta Prague 0. We've qualified for the knockout stages yet again. Is that 4 years in a row? 3 years in a row? Unbelievable. This is the fourth, isn't
Four.
it?
Four. It's four. Yeah.
An unbelievable feat to do that. The coefficient for Scotland, and this is it. This is what makes this season so important for us.
Yep.
So thank you for everybody for their comments. It's getting to a stage just now. We probably need, I think Martin's in the background, we probably need someone to come on and help us with these comments because the comments are just flying. And when we're chatting like this, it's very hard to keep up. So apologies, I've not brought up as many as I'd have liked. Ross apologises as well for being the mute tonight, but that's fine. It's having a mute on Ross Clark.
What do you mean?
Okay sometimes.
What do you mean?
So Ross
has been talking away.
You know what?
Ross,
What?
thanks for tonight.
Do you know what I've been sitting thinking, JD? See if you stuck some grass seed on the top of your head with that light beating down on it, that'd be half an hour. You'd probably have hair in about 6 pods time.
I know. I need to get. It's too warm sitting here. Having to plug my
Just
laptop in.
turn your head upside down.
Nah, need the beard. Brian, thanks for tonight, mate. It was good seeing you.
Cheers. Yeah, you as well. Thank you.
Take care, as always.
Cheers, Jamie.
And thanks for everyone for listening in. And I think there's a preview pod probably going out at some point tomorrow night for a wee bit more in depth into the Livy game. So that'll be on
Care,
Patreon.
he'll be on it.
No,
Yeah?
I'm in England tomorrow.
Ask Care, he'll be on it.
On all Kersey's travels.
No, I'm
Brian, are you on it tomorrow?
Yep.
Yeah. I don't know if I'm on it or not, but
Anyway,
folks,
me and me.
thanks for listening in, and we'll see you all soon. Thanks, guys.